Howdy, team. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Fort Lewis. I took a few minutes away from my family to slide back here in my bedroom to talk to y'all. They're up front watching the movie, and we're getting ready to go meet teachers, so all is well. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to visit with y'all for a minute. I am excited about Sunday, and I'm really excited about starting this new series as a church family. Two reasons about it that I think are really important. Number one, studying who God really is essential. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about why that's true here in a minute. But I'm glad that our students are going to get to see more clearly who God really is. And then also, I'm thrilled about the fact that our entire church family is doing this. If families take advantage of this, this is going to be huge for us to all going home having heard the same sermon, having heard the same essential connection group lesson, and even the devotion materials that they have access to. This could be huge for families, certainly as the school year takes off. So I hope they do that. So this is going to be really, really, really good. That all being said, let's jump into what Sunday's going to look like. It's going to be important. Students will come in the loft like normal. They'll have some time to mill around and get donuts and drinks and that kind of thing. I will meet with y'all. The goal is to meet with y'all at 11:10, no later. That's when I want to pray with y'all. We'll make sure everybody's on the same page. And then after we break from that, we'll show the students the vending machine video, which I sent the link to you. You have access to that so you can watch that. All of the Real God lessons have a 3 to 5 minute bumper video that goes with it. It's a great setup. Some of them are funny, some of them are kind of tear jerkers, but they're all good. And so check that out. That'll give you a little bit of a heads up as well. But we'll watch that bumper video and then we'll dismiss to our classes. Once you get to your class, go ahead and have your students fill this thing out. Guys, these really are strategic and helpful. And what's going to happen after your kids fill that out, Kate and I are going to be roaming around, and we'll get those from you before your class is over, and we'll make copies of all of those, and then we'll give you a set of the copies. That way, when you leave on Sunday, you'll have all of your class's information, and then we'll have that information too. Some of it's stuff that we need, some of it's stuff that you need. But we'll make sure before you leave you have those, and you'll have email addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff so you can contact your kids and know what snacks they like and that kind of thing. But do take that time. That really is, again, it's strategic for us to have the information we need, but also just to get to know them. And then take a few minutes to review some of those questions. You really do. We want the kids to get to know them. Some of our students know who you are and vice versa, and some of them don't. There's a lot of new students, and more new students are coming. So again, take advantage of that time. I think that'll be helpful. But do that, and then you'll jump into your lesson. You'll notice the lesson by design is incredibly short, specifically this week. We want it to be. FYI, Pastor Eric is going to be preaching through the Real God series, and so this Sunday he's talking about seeking God, just like we're talking about seeking God in connection groups. Next week we're talking about goodness of God. He will be preaching about the goodness of God. This thing is totally immersive. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. So you'll have that great setup from Eric. You'll have the great setup from the video. So just go through the questions they give you on here. And let me encourage you too. You can see they've got the little check marks on there. Go through between now and Sunday, and you just check the questions that you think will be helpful for your class. I would pick 5 or 6, and it's entirely possible you'll only have time to ask 2 or 3 questions, because you want to give the students time to respond, and that's okay. And then I would say tweak them too. So for instance, I would absolutely tweak on page 12, tweak the last question that says, the narrator said, what you think about God is the most important thing about you. Why do you think this is true? Why did he say this? I would tweak that one ever so slightly. Drop the word why. So instead of saying, why do you think that's true? Ask the question, do you think that's true? If so, why? If you don't think that's true, why not? I think that's a little bit more helpful of a question to ask. And then also on pages 13 and 14, those are questions from the Family Devo that are being asked. Go ahead and use those, because it's not going to hurt the students to have you ask them that questions, and then mom and dad ask them those questions at home too. In fact, you might be doing them a favor because you've primed the pump for mom and dad as well. Now, here's why this Real God study matters and why I'm excited about it. My buddy Matt Chandler likes to use this analogy, and I think it's so good. He says, if I went home to my wife Lauren, and I walked in and I got down on my hands and knees in front of her, and I said, baby, I love you. I love you so much. I love your brown hair and your deep brown eyes. When I look at you, you just move me so much. When he says this, you'll even hear some in the crowd that'll be like, "Oh, that's really sweet." And he said that would be really sweet, except my wife's a blonde with blue eyes. Said I'm praising my wife for these characteristics that she doesn't have. That's going to end badly for me. And this is true of God as well. Sometimes we get off on stuff about God that's not true. We sing songs that it's poor theology and we don't catch it, but it sounds really sweet, so it must be good, and it's not. And so this series is going to help us laser focus a little bit more on who God is and who He's not. And ultimately, we're going to see how He's so much better than what we could ever imagine. So get excited. I am too. Guys, I love y'all. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Sunday. Bye.